focused on security updates. A few housekeeping items before we get started. Please go ahead and add your questions to the Q&A panel. We'll try to get to as many as possible. For questions on how to use certain features, we highly recommend you visit our knowledge base at support.zoom.us, watch the how-to videos on YouTube, read our blog post, or attend a daily training. Kristen will add these links as resources in the webinar chat. We are recording this webinar and we'll send it out later. And we're once again excited to provide you with an update on our recent progress and opportunity to ask Eric and a few of our top team members questions. Today we have Eric, our founder and CEO. He will provide an update on our progress since our last webinar on October 21st. Lynn Holland, our Chief Compliance and Ethics Officer and Chief Privacy Officer, will then provide an update on our certifications. And Oded Gal, our Chief Product Officer, will then recap recent product and security updates on our platform. And lastly, we'll open it up for Q&A. With that, I'll turn it over to Eric. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Janelle. Again, thank you all for joining today and truly appreciate. So we are very excited to welcome you back to our webinar, which we are continuing to host every month, as you all know, as part of our ongoing commitment to being transparent with our users and to provide privacy, security, and product updates. So we've had a lot of positive updates and development in the past months that I'm very excited to share with you. So first of all, as you can see here, we are very pleased to share that Gartner, and very famous, analyst firm, has named Zoom a leader in the 2020 Magic Quadrant for meeting solutions, as well as a leader in the Magic Quadrant for unified communications as a service, or UCaaS for short. So this is sixth time Zoom has appeared in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for meeting solutions, and it's the fifth consecutive time as a leader. It is the first year Zoom has qualified for inclusion in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for UCaaS since we launched the Zoom Phone early last year. We are very proud of the role we have been able to play in helping the world connected with our frictionless, reliable, and secure technology. We are very pleased that Gartner has recognized our ability to satisfy a wide range of virtual meeting scenarios with our video-first design and architecture and commitment to customer happiness. We truly believe video is a new voice, and we are gratified that Gartner has recognized the convenience and accessibility of our UCaaS offering, which combines Zoom meetings, Zoom chat, Zoom rooms, and Zoom Phone. I would also like to thank our users for their support and wonderful ideas that have helped us earn those honors. So as we continue to make key hires on security, trust, and safety teams, I would like to introduce a new member, Rod Swart, our new head of product security and privacy. Rod has spent his career designing protocols and security frameworks to protect the data and content. He's worked at Cisco, Apple, Adobe, and before, as well as in some of the other startup companies. And he's with us now at Zoom, and we welcome Rod to join Zoom. Rod also holds 10 patents with several more pending. Rod is a very great addition to our team as we continue delivering on our commitment to provide a secure product and experiences. I'm also pleased that he will be joining us in our Q&A session today as well. So before I turn it over to Lynn, I'd like to wish all of our fellow American users a safe and happy Thanksgiving next week. We recognize this holiday is going to look a lot of different for many of us this year, with the ongoing pandemic preventing families across the country from gathering together in person as they usually would. So as a thank you to our customers and to our community, we are lifting the 40-minute time limit for free users meetings on November 26th to ensure that family time does not get cut short. We are humbled to help ensure the spirit of the holiday is not lost by connecting friends and families virtually. So with that, I'll now give Lynn the floor. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you for the invitation today. We have a couple of updates to share regarding HIPAA and our certifications. HIPAA, as many of you probably know, is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And since 1996, it has helped protect patient health information, which we also would like to share with you some good news about that for Zoom. This month, we enhanced features for our healthcare customers. Since its inception, again, Zoom's HIPAA-compliant healthcare license has helped providers, hospital administrators, and health systems use video in amazing ways, from conducting virtual doctor's visits to connecting medical communities. Our newly expanded offering gives healthcare organizations and providers access to more HIPAA-compliant features and capabilities, along with the ability to customize what features are allowed or disallowed within a network. These new features include the availability of cloud recordings for clinical applications and Zoom Phone under Zoom's updated Business Associate Agreement, or BAA, as well as enhanced Zoom Chat, where healthcare customers can now generate chat logs, which allows, all of these enhancements are following feedback from numerous healthcare customers over the last few years. These enhancements will enable our Zoom for Healthcare customers to leverage more of the Zoom platform while still maintaining privacy, security, and compliance. We're also pleased to share that Zoom recently received what's called the Cyber Essentials certification. Cyber Essentials is operated by the UK's National Cybersecurity Centre and seeks to help organizations protect against cyber attack or risk. This certificate demonstrates that our platform meets all of the requirements and technical controls per the certificate to provide safe and secure unified communications under, again, this Cyber Essentials certification. Now, I will turn it over to Oded, who will provide an update on recent security updates and product enhancements. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Let me walk you through some of the recently introduced and upcoming safety and security features. Over the past few weeks, we have deployed a number of exciting and notable updates. Since late October, our end-to-end encryption offering has been available as a technical preview, and we are actively soliciting feedback from users for the first 30 days. Free and paid Zoom users around the world can host up to 200 participants in an end-to-end encrypted Zoom meetings, providing increased privacy and security for the Zoom sessions. This technical preview is the first of 4 phases for the rollout of our end-to-end encryption offering. Phase 2, which is tentatively roadmapped for 2021, will include better identity management and end-to-end encrypted single sign-on integration. To further combat meeting disruptions, we released 3 new security features to remove and report disruptive meeting participants. The first feature is called Suspend Participant Activities, which is located under the security icon. Give host and co-host the option to temporarily pause their meetings and remove a disruptive participant. By clicking this feature, all video, audio, in-meeting chat, annotation, screen sharing, and recording will stop and breakout rooms will end. Host and co-host will be asked if they would like to report a user from their meetings, share any details, and optionally include a screenshot. Once they click submit, the reported user will be removed from the meeting and Zoom's trust and safety team will be notified. Hosts and co-hosts may then resume their meetings by individually re-enabling the features they'd like to use. Zoom will also send them an email after the meeting to gather more information. Second, we also simplified the process of meeting hosts and attendees to report abuse to Zoom. In addition to report a user feature under the security icon, Meeting participants can now also report a disruptive user directly from the Zoom client by clicking on the top left security badge. Account owners and admins can enable reporting capabilities for non-hosts in their web settings. Third, account owners and admins of verified education and business accounts can now enable or disable a setting that allows hosts to report participants for inappropriate behavior during past webinars. We also enhanced our screen sharing feature. Users can now select multiple desktop programs at once for sharing instead of sharing their entire desktop. And other programs are and unoccupied areas in the desktop will not be visible to viewers. We have improved our security notifications to users who will receive confirmation emails after certain actions are performed, including password changes, phone number updates, and host key changes. Furthermore, we enhance our audit logs for meeting recordings, which will now show if recordings were downloaded using an API access token or webhook payload token. In terms of security updates that we have in the pipeline, I wanted to highlight a few that are forthcoming. Co-hosts will soon have the ability to manage breakout rooms. There will be security enhancements for deleting a Zoom account. Before deleting a Zoom account, owners and admins will now be required to go through additional verification steps depending on the type of account. We also plan to provide admins the ability to set minimum client versions for users to ensure members of their organizations are updating their client for security purposes. Users will be able to allow or deny users from certain regions or countries to join meetings. Finally, we will also be providing the ability for customers to customize the disclaimers that appear for starting or joining meetings. As part of our ongoing efforts to combat meeting disruptions, I also wanted to share more information about an internal tool that we have been using since this fall to help prevent meeting disruptions before they happen. This tool, called At-Risk Meeting Notifier, scans public social media posts and other websites for publicly shared Zoom meeting links. When the tool detects meetings that look to be at high risk of being disrupted by bad actors, it automatically alerts the account owners and admins by email and provides advice on what to do. If you do get an email, it's critical that you take action to protect your meeting. As a reminder, one of the best ways to keep your meeting secure is to never share your meeting ID or passcode on any public forum, including social media. As businesses and schools continue to navigate this pandemic and stay connected, we are planning to introduce a number of enhancements to Zoom Rooms and Zoom Phone to help organizations re-enter offices and schools safely. I'll start with Zoom Rooms. With new Zoom Rooms kiosk mode, organizations can set up a branded display for visitors to remotely engage with their receptionists virtually over Zoom. Here is a video demonstrating some of the ways Zoom can help you safely return to the office, including a demo of how Zoom kiosk mode would work.
As you all know, how and where we work is changing, so I wanted to show you all the things Zoom is doing to make it super safe and easy for you to re-enter the office. Even from the moment you walk in, you can get checked in virtually through our Zoom Rooms kiosk mode. Hey Dava, how's it going?
Hey Esther.
And then from there, they can do what's needed to make sure I can enter the building. This makes things like temperature checks super easy. In places like your hallways and your lobbies, you can push out really cool Zoom Rooms digital signage content like your capacity limits or your safety protocols. And then outside of your meeting rooms, you can see how many people are in the room before you even enter. And the great thing about this is not only are you providing your employees with valuable information, IT admins can check things like the CO2 level, air quality, and room occupancy straight from the Zoom dashboard. Once I'm in a Zoom room, I can start my meeting completely touch-free using voice commands. Hello Zoom, start meeting. Hey guys, how's it going?
Yes, sir.
So the cool thing here is it's leveraging AI. Zoom Room Smart Gallery is pulling the faces of the people in the room and it's pushing it as individual streams so I can have a better face-to-face conversation with them. You can also do things like pair your mobile device or your laptop so you can control your room camera, mute your audio, so you don't even have to touch the room controller. All of this is setting the stage for collaboration. So I can share my screen and co-annotate with my colleagues, whether they're at home or in the office, whatever device they're on. And then we can share straight to Zoom chat so that we can pick up where we left off later. We understand that managing hybrid workforces and re-entering the office is going to be a challenge. So Zoom is here to make that transition as smooth as possible. Thanks for your help, guys.
Zoom Rooms kiosk mode is now available in beta. We also implemented a number of enhancements to Zoom Rooms. Breakout rooms are very useful when you want to split up a group for smaller discussions. Now you can also assign a Zoom room to a breakout group. Discussions. Sorry. Breakout rooms are very useful when you want to split up a group for smaller discussions. Now you can assign a Zoom room to a breakout group. Our gallery view allows users to see the video of up to 49 participants at a time, or 147 across 3 monitors, and create a virtual setting chart. Hosts can easily drag and drop video tiles and rearrange the order in which participants appear in their gallery view. This view gets locked into a fixed configuration, so it won't shift when a new person speaks or enters the virtual classroom. We now support multiple pages on our whiteboard feature, enabling users to navigate between and annotate on multiple pages. We're also planning to launch in beta mode a new feature that will enable hosts to save whiteboards to chat. We also added new features to Zoom Phone Dematic E911 to help provide peace of mind in the event of an emergency, including the ability for safety teams to trigger Zoom Room's digital signage to assist emergency responders further and help locate the person needing help. Dematic E911 is available today with support for Zoom Room digital signage expected to be released in beta by the end of 2020. With that, I will now hand it back over to Janelle.
Excellent. Thank you, Oded. Those were some great updates. And we will now jump into the Q&A portion. So again, thank you all for putting in your questions, and we will get to as many as possible. I'm going to start off with end-to-end, Oded. Can you talk about what are the next steps and what are the timelines for this?
Yes, so next step for us is, as I mentioned, phase 2, where we are working on integrating it with better identity management. And we're planning to release that next year.
Excellent. Have you developed a shield that prevents an audience member from capturing a screenshot on the computer if we were presenting proprietary information on the screen share?
So what we do have a feature, and I'm assuming that's the answer for that problem, that is called watermark, where it will basically place the name of the user on top of the shared screen, so that if that person takes a screenshot, it will include that on the screen share itself, and we'll be able to identify that person taking that screenshot.
Excellent. Rod, welcome. This is your first AMA with Eric. We're glad to have you here. Can you talk about what you'll be doing in your role as head of product security and privacy?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having me, guys. So I just joined the team recently, and I'm come on to add some innovative features for authentication, authorization, and a lot of requirements that we need to strengthen the security fabric in general across the board for the new Zoom features that we're rolling out. A major initiative is that I'm working very closely with Oded and the rest of the team to enhance end-to-end encryption, to add more functionality to that, to expose the indicators, to give confidence to people that the meetings are protected, and to be able to verify that the data is being protected for valuable conversations.
Excellent. We have a big job ahead of you, but a great team behind you as well. So welcome.
Absolutely.
Lynn, are there any other certifications that Zoom has?
There are, thanks Janelle. There are many, and I'm sure I'm forgetting many of them, but we're really proud, for example, of one that we received. We received a really high passing grade from Common Sense Media back in the summer, in particular for our Zoom for Education framework. Thanks.
Excellent. Brenda, maybe you can help us out with this one. If you have an older client version, do you still have access to the same security features as the most recent version?
So the Zoom client has a range of security features in it, and when we design features, we try to ensure that it will support as many clients as possible. For some of the features, we do encourage folks to be on the most recent client, but our core security is built into the platform at its base.
Great. What options are on the roadmap for HD video at different frame rates per second, like 25, 30, or maybe even 50 or 60?
So in terms of HD video, the number of frame rate is actually controlled automatically. It goes up to 30 frames per second, but it will gauge the actual number based on the amount of bandwidth and capability of the machine that it's running on. Right now we are considering improved quality even further, and higher frame rate is part of the consideration as well. Right now we don't have an actual deadline for that.
And to add to what Oded was saying, if you're talking about the frame rate when sharing videos with a meeting, especially on screen share, we encourage people to use the optimize for full screen video setting if you want to optimize for frame rate when doing a screen share.
Good tip. The gallery view, you mentioned for Zoom rooms being now able to have 49 people on one screen. Is it capped at 147, or can you use more than 3 monitors?
Well, overall, the number of people is limited to 147, but there are more people that can join, if that's the question.
Okay, great. I think a follow-up to that is, can you talk about how you've done they're calling it the gallery view wall. So I believe they mean like at these big events. Brendan, I know you've been involved in some of these. Can you talk to that?
Definitely. We've seen a number of organizations that have done those big wall displays by having multiple Zoom sessions and meetings and using technology to basically stitch those various computer displays into one very large display. So we've seen folks that by having, for example, multiple Zoom rooms running simultaneously, being able to have over 1,000 people on a video wall by linking all those displays together.
Great. Eric, what has Zoom been doing to educate companies and individuals about our efforts to bolster privacy and security?
Yeah, so first of all, I think we take privacy and security very, very seriously. Right? We do have like webinar like this. We also have webinars posted on our website, and often we have a blog, and also listen to our customer feedback and so on and so forth. I think on many fronts, right? So so the security privacy is a part of our DNA. If any audience has any good suggestions, feel free to let us know. We do all we can to not only educate our enterprise, education, or healthcare customers, but all the users, including the free users, K-12 schools. Like over the summer, we had a summer, academy, right, for just organized, for the worldwide K-12 school and the teachers and staff members, right? So that a lot of programs like that certainly can help us and also help our community.
Absolutely. I also think our analyst firm does quite, or analyst firms that we work with do quite a bit as well. They do a lot of scrutiny of our security, and you know, it was great to see that we're still leaders. We are leaders for meetings, and then also for UCAS as well.
Yeah.
Even after that
that's right.
scrutiny. Dad, can you talk about when we can expect the release of automatic live captioning for education accounts?
So right now we are doing it in a gradual way. We are handling it case by case for education accounts. So if there is some education accounts, please contact their representative at Zoom and provide reasoning, and we'll look into enabling it for those education accounts. Overall, we are planning to enable all paid customers with live transcription by end of the year.
Excellent. Are there plans to add breakout rooms to webinars?
Yes, there is a plan for that. It's planned for early next year. Correct.
Early next year. That's great news. Wonderful. Lynn, will these new HIPAA features become available automatically if you have an existing BAA agreement?
So you don't have to have a new BAA, but if you would like to take advantage of the enhanced features, then yes, we do ask that you execute with us a new BAA.
And do I need to install or enable the at-risk meeting notifier? So Brendan or Dad, would you like to talk to that?
So right now, the at-risk meeting notifier is automatically enabled for all accounts, and messages the owners and admins of those accounts, because we want to make sure that they are aware of any meetings that might be a concern so that they can take the appropriate actions.
And Lynn, another one about HIPAA. Grace is asking, she's new to the HIPAA compliant Zoom, looking for the best way to document meetings for clients. Do you have any details on that?
Well, I would say that the good news is that if you do wish to use Zoom's enhanced features, recording of your meeting is now an option. So if you execute the new BAA, if you're a current customer or if you're a new customer and you'd like to sign up for those enhanced features, please do reach out and we can send you the BAA, and then you will be able to store and record and then store your HIPAA compliant meetings if you've done that.
When will the security button be available to hosts when they're in a breakout room? It's a great feature request. Or Dad, is that something you were working on?
I'm taking notes. Yes.
Okay.
You know what, that we're tracking that as a feature, and we're trying to get better cross-platform feature so that there's less discrepancy between the two, and that's something that we're actively working on.
Great. And are there any updates regarding the use of polls for education on the platform? I'm not quite sure what that question is in regards to. Certainly we have polls, both in meetings and in webinars. So if you, again, go check out the support site, you'll find the information on how to do that. Eric, for the 40-minute time limit, do we need to do anything to be eligible for this?
Oh, every user, every free user. So again, it's our gift to all the fellow Americans, and whoever is celebrating the Thanksgiving, we want all the families that can leverage Zoom tool to get connected. Every user, and we'll leave the 40 minutes time limit.
Excellent. There's somebody else saying they're very grateful for this time limit, and they would like to know, they said it's really great for letting families and friends connect for free on Thanksgiving, and they want to know what you are most grateful for.
Oh, I'm most grateful for so many things. First of all, I'm grateful about our user and the user community's great support. With all their trust and support, I really do not think we can achieve anything. I'm so grateful about every Zoom employees' hard work, smart work, dedication to help Zoom grow to where we are today. And also, I'm very grateful to my family support as well. I think, yeah, again, I have so many things to be so grateful.
I love it. Anybody else want to jump in on what they're grateful for?
I'm happy to jump in, Janelle. I would echo some of those same things. Really happy to be here at Zoom and to be able to help out in our small way, especially with regard to education. I think I've said that before at the webinar, so I risk sounding like a broken record, but I think everybody at Zoom is just really, really proud and grateful for the chance to be helping, in particular, keeping businesses online, but in particular, helping with education and remote learning, whether it's higher ed or the K through 12. I think everybody's really, really grateful for that chance to help, and my family as well.
Absolutely. Our families are supporting all of us as well. And it's humbling helping so many educations and businesses continue during this very difficult time. Let's see, are there plans to extend the at-risk notification to end users in addition to owners and admins?
To take that one. It is a feature request that we are looking at and considering. We just want to make sure that we're getting that notification right and giving our account owners and admins the control that they want in terms of who gets notified when we're considering that feature.
And Lori's asking, as a Zoom administrator for her meetings, I need the ability to mute and unmute people and not have them unmute themselves. I work on a government office, so our meetings must be open to the public, but there are certain times when they can speak. So this feature is vital to our meetings. Where can I find it?
So for those sort of public meetings, one of the things that I'd highly recommend is actually our webinar product. Because at that point, you do have folks that can be presenting during that. And then the audio and video of all your participants or attendees are muted until you explicitly allow them. And we have the ability, sort of like in the session that you're seeing today, where folks can ask questions or things like raise their hand. And at that point, you can always escalate them to the panel so their audio and video can be on.
Let's see, I heard the host can now move the boxes on the screen to where the host wants them. Is that true? And if so, how do you do that? Oded, do you want to talk through that?
Yeah, this is the relatively new feature in our gallery view, where you actually can drag and drop participants' video images across the gallery and position them wherever you want. And the idea is that once you do that change, it will stay locked in that position.
Great. Let's see, we're interested in downloading in bulk all of our faculty recordings after the semester is complete. Is there a function for bulk delete, or there is a function for bulk delete, but what about bulk download for our admins and users? How would you suggest doing that?
So right now, one of the best ways to do that is actually leveraging our APIs. We offer an open platform where folks can query our backend to find out about the recordings on their account and get URLs to download. So if you have resources that are familiar with APIs, you have that ability to reach in and pull them that way. Since our APIs are also open, we do have an app marketplace where third-party developers have built applications that can also work with your recordings on those APIs. So there are a few approaches to it.
Thank you. Let's see, how can you document a Zoom meeting, screenshot or chat logs?
The chat itself is something that the users can save as a text file. That's one thing. Screenshot can be taken by the users if they choose to, using the current methods to take screenshots. Another way to document a meeting is if you do use the live transcription, you can actually save the live transcription content itself if you choose to. So that's kind of a new method. If you do have the live transcription on, you can save that live transcription to document the meeting itself.
And then naturally, there is also the ability to do a cloud recording where it can store the audio, video, screen share, and chat, if so selected in our cloud, which is searchable and clickable, all from the website as well.
Great. I know a lot of people are using the breakout rooms, and this might just be another feature enhancement for you, Aded, to take notes. Would it be possible to add more cooperation for the breakout rooms so it'd be easier to write on the whiteboard together and to collaborate live?
Yeah, sounds like a good enhancement. We are looking into the breakout sessions. It became a very, very popular feature in the recent months with education and other usage of our Zoom platform. So that's another one to take into note and include into future releases.
Great.
Thank you.
Sometimes a meeting needs more than one participant to pay to attend, not a webinar. What online payment tools do you integrate with?
So we have a number of options there. There is the On Zoom platform that was just announced at Zoomtopia. So for those that are looking at monetizing their meetings, that is a great option if you're looking at one of those channels.
Great. We have another question here related to On Zoom. It's for Eric. Have you attended any of these sessions? And if so, what kind for On Zoom?
Yeah, so first of all, I did join quite a few even before we launched on Zoom. And since Zoomtopia, after we launched on Zoom, the first class I registered, I remember that clearly, just $5. I registered an online cooking class for how to learn how to cooking dumplings. So unfortunately, I missed that event, but I did register that event. And another event is a free event, is something talk about the magic show. So yeah, again, I think there are so many events available on Zoom, and you just need to search for that, and also list some of the top events as well. And yeah, any feedback is very, very welcome, and we are doubling down on that to make sure all the knowledge workers can have an opportunity to host those knowledge sharing sessions on the Zoom platform.
Excellent. Any of our other panelists, have you attended On Zoom events?
My family's done a
Yes,
lot of cooking classes on Zoom and learned how to cook some interesting meals during the pandemic, and that's been a lot of fun.
I attended a Zoom Diwali celebration, and took a mini dance lesson that I was particularly embarrassed about, but I did my best. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people joined, and it was really terrific to see the people that Zoom had brought in to teach us, and it was a nice occasion.
I joined that too, Lee, and that on Diwali day. So yeah.
Yeah, I just recently joined a guided tour of Big Sur, the national parks around it. It was really great, and you could interact with the guide and ask questions in addition to seeing videos and photos and maps. It was really great to see.
Yeah, and I've also been joining some of those parks and nature visits, which have been absolutely amazing, seeing more of the country, especially these days.
I love it, being able to travel virtually. And it sounds like you guys are all getting amazing food. So that's fantastic. Eric, what do you think about the retention of remote learning and telehealth applications after the pandemic?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, I think even prior to this pandemic crisis, telemedicine, telehealth were already, becoming very popular. And I think not only in America, but also in other countries as well. I think, ultimately, there's today you look at it, say you want to visit a doctor, the commute time, the waiting time in the waiting room. I think the telemedicine, telehealth can certainly help, especially during this pandemic crisis, right? A lot of people visit the doctors online, like Zoom. I think those kind of experience, I think will stay. I truly believe, I think even after the pandemic, I think a lot of patient visit will be online first. I think that's a trend, I think, all over the world.
Absolutely. We're seeing that in the data and research as well. Fantastic. All right, well, we are at time. I'd like to thank all of our panelists. I'd like to thank everybody for attending and for your wonderful Q&A. Have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy the 40-minute time limit. Eric, any parting words?
Oh, thank you. Thank you all for your great support. As always, have a great and safe Thanksgiving. Thank you.
We'll see you next month. Thank you.
Yep.